Go.
Hi, welcome to Country Stitchers. I'm Deb.
I'm Liz, and welcome to CS Industries. We're doing something different today. We are touring CS Industries, which you may know as Dimensions, and we're going to introduce you to their process for production and design, and we're excited to start.
Yes.
Hi, here we are with Lori and Jennifer. Lori is the studio director, and we're going to find out about how they come to choose their designs.
Hi. So I'm the studio director for Dimensions. So I decide on what pieces are going to be in the line, and we do that usually by using licensed work from hundreds of different artists around the world, actually. So what we do is we go to licensing houses and we look at all the designers' portfolios. We decide which designers we like to use. Then we pick out a few pieces, and that's how we start everything here. Some of the smaller designs we do in-house, but usually the larger designs are licensed, and the artists then get a royalty from the sales of each piece.
And when you say licenses, Lori, you mean things like names like Marvel or Disney or...
We do the big licenses like Disney and Marvel, but we also do smaller artists, that just do this for a living, and they paint for a living, and they license their artwork on various things. It could be journals, it could be cross-stitch pieces, it could be shower curtains, pillows, that they would sell them on several different pieces.
Okay.
Okay.
And Jennifer, what's your role here?
I am the director of marketing for all of the brands that are here, and I basically am on the business side. So I do a lot of the numbers, and I watch everything that goes from concept, where Lori picks the art, till it's actually on the shelf.
Wow.
Yeah, so I am in charge of all the timelines and the pricing and all of that good stuff.
Okay, this is one of our designers here, Mark, and he actually has a Christmas piece he's working on.
That piece. That's beautiful.
So again, when I decide on the pieces to use, the red trucks are so popular still. They're very popular. So we have a red truck
never seen
here.
a red truck.
So this is one of our stockings.
Love it.
So Mark will just tell you a little bit about what he does here.
Okay, well, we start off with the original artwork, which has been modified to fit into the stocking shape and make some compositional changes. And then we take it into Photoshop and use a grid to break it down into a smaller amount of colors than we would normally use. We have colors here.
Wow.
So these are all our flosses that we have specialty design or dyed for us.
Wow.
So, can you just zoom in, Mark, to one area and put the grid on just so they can see? So the stitchers know every single grid square is a different stitch, but just so you can see how it looks when we design it on the computer.
And then after that, after the design has been approved, then we symbolize it, and it gets stitched up initially and then corrected.
Right, so we symbolize them in color just for our stitchers, just to make it a little bit easier for them to do the first prototype.
Nice.
And then, of course, we have changes along the way.
Always changes.
But it always starts right here.
Very nice.
Okay, this design here is going to be a needlepoint stocking for our Christmas line. So right here, again, we see the artwork. Let me turn off the top stitching. And then the designer will chart the design. So this is charted. And then we have some top stitching on. This piece here has real pom-poms made and some little tassels here for the top of the hat. So it looks real dimensional. A little later in the video, we'll show you the finished stitched piece so you can see how it all comes about. And here's the bottom of the design.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's really cute.
Now, does the software pick up a color and then put your symbol on all those colors? Or do you have to do that one pixel at a time?
So we chart an area. You just go in with a paintbrush almost and chart it, and we already have the grid on it. And then, so we make the decision what color gets put where, but we almost go around and paint on top of it. And then when we put the symbols in for the stitcher, we just selected that color area everywhere it is. It fills it with that symbol. So the stitcher knows to look at this key, and then they know what color to stitch inside that area.
this one be released also?
Yeah,
So this
so
is, right, this is a needlepoint design that will be for this holiday. Okay, this is one of our licensed designs by artist Lee Boggle. And so this is the artwork where we start out with. And then we go in and we chart everything in Photoshop. So each color key over here corresponds with the color in the piece. And each floss number is the flosses that are specially designed and dyed for our kits. Then after that, we symbolize the chart just to make it easy for our stitchers to stitch. So we'll put a symbol in or brighten up a color just to match the key on the side here to make it easier for stitching. And then we also have a top stitching layer, which is all the detail line stitching.
Those are helpful.
Yeah. And then we have the finished piece.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
This is Donna, one of our instruction artists. Donna, do you want to tell them a little bit your process?
Sure. So after the artwork is approved by the artist, the chart will come to me and I will generate the instruction artwork that will go in the kit. So I will take the chart that the artist has created, and I'll go through and I'll check each color individually and check it against the model and make sure everything is correct. And then I'll go through and I'll select each color and I'll assign a different symbol to each one. And so this chart will be printed in 3 colors. And since it's a holiday chart, we have black, red, and green. And I'll just go through, and as I assign each symbol, I want to make sure that that they're easily distinguishable from each other, and it's as easy to view as possible, and to figure out what symbol represents what color floss.
Nice and user-friendly.
Cool, yeah.
Yes. And then I'll go in and I will draw the top stitching, and again, we have different types of lines to represent the different colors of floss, thick, thin, open lines in different colors. And once I have the chart all finished and I think it looks pretty good, I'll print it out and I will take it to the writers, and they will go through and check each color against the model and make sure everything is correct and accurate. If there's any corrections, it comes back to me and I do those corrections and finalize it, and then it goes on to the writers to be written.
Wow.
This is Elaine, our instruction writer. Elaine, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. After the design has come in the system and it's all stitched and approved and the chart is done, then we will work on the instructions. And we have templates for all different crafts. We have stitch diagrams already laid out. We have a key template, and basically what we do is we make this kit specific for the design, so it will include the stitch diagrams that are relevant to that design. And then we take the chart that was made for the design and we place it in the instructions. We do a key that has all the symbols from the color cards so that the consumer will have this to follow when stitching. We do, most of our instructions are multilingual, 7 languages, English and 6 others. We do some things that are trilingual, English, French, and Spanish. Like I said, we give finishing instructions if it goes in a hoop or if there's some special type of stitch. We make sure to include everything that the consumer ends up with something that looks just like our stitch model.
Nice. That's
And
beautiful.
then one other thing I do is also finalize the bill of materials. This details all the components of the kit, and that goes to the vendor so they know what to pack when they're
Okay.
manufacturing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
You're welcome.
Yes.
This is Carol, our senior packaging designer. Carol, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. I am kind of the last in line throughout the whole process. So I would get the stitched model in my area, and I would set up anything that needs to be done for photography. For stockings, we would do a prop shot. So I would handle getting all the props together, and then Barry would photograph it. And then I prep all of the packaging using the photography. I do an InDesign layout for each package. Which is used. Then it would go to the printer. I also handle catalogs. So for the whole line, at the end of each line, I would do a catalog that would get handed out to our salespeople to show to retailers. So here is the holiday catalog from our last line.
And these are all getting released when?
This line comes out March 20th, or
May.
May of
May
2020.
2020. Nice.
When did you guys go to the new look on your packaging? I have a dimensions kit of Scenic Farm that someone sent me that has the prior packaging, and I'm trying to figure out how long ago that was. That doesn't have dimensions on the side.
The senior, that was a kit that's been around probably from the early 90s.
Okay, I thought it was a while.
But, and that had our original logo on it
Okay.
still. So we switched over to this style probably 2010 maybe.
Okay.
That's when our new logo was developed.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So I found a few of my favorite things lying around here. These are all pieces from the holiday line that will be released in May of 2020. This is the one we just heard about, and then we also have the penguin stocking with the pom-poms on it, too cute. And this one's my personal favorite, the red truck.
Deb says she found them lying around. She actually went hunting them.
I'll give them back, I promise, I promise. And so when these come from the stitcher, and then you photograph them.
So these
like
are the
this.
photo
These are-
models.
Okay.
The photo models are what you see actually on the top label of your package. And we also do stitch copy models, and the copy models go out on sales trips and things.
Okay.
So those are the actual models that are photographed.
Okay. And then there will also be a stitcher that makes them into a stocking.
Stockings.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Okay, this is Leslie. She's our lead crafter here. She does all the crafting on all of our brands. She's standing with some of our brands here that she has worked on. And she's going to walk us through some of the work that she does in stitching. So let's go and see.
So when everything is produced, when the artists are done, it comes over here, and then we stitch it either in-house or we send some stitching to China. So the larger pieces go to China to be stitched. And anything smaller we stitch in-house or freelance. We also do some needle felting and punch needle. And right now we're working on some projects for Creative Bug. So there'll be some classes coming out for Creative Bug.
Oh, nice. Cool.
So come into my area. So these are some more projects we're working on for Creative Bug. It's an easy quilting project, obviously. So we do a little bit of sewing. Also do some stitching.
Nice.
And so this is a project I'm working on. And we generally use stretcher bars here.
Okay.
Easiest, quickest, we can get it tightest, and it
Nice.
affects the fabric the least. We want the fabric to be nice and clean and straight, and
Yeah.
so we use stretcher bars.
Very cool. Now, is this a new design you're working on?
This is a new design for down the road.
Ah, okay.
For down the
Right.
road. We also, so everything gets stitched either, all the top labels you see are all stitched. We don't do anything digital, so everything is stitched, whether a large piece is done in China or smaller ones here. But we actually stitch everything. We also test the amount of thread we use.
Okay.
That way we know we have enough in a kit.
You have a little dog or cat that runs through and steals some every now and then?
We do not. We wish we did. We wish we did. So most of the crafting magic happens here.
Okay. Very cool. That's a beautiful piece over there, too.
That's an oldie, but I love it. And this is the most exciting part of our tour, I think.
I think so too.
This is our creel. So the first part of the creel is, this is all 3-ply Persian wool. We use this for needlepoint, punch needle, embroidery. And then the next part, you see these smaller cones are, these are all DMC. It goes around the corner here. And we use DMC for some development. And then the last part of the creel, these larger cones, these are all our custom dyed colors we use in all of our kits. It's a line that's custom dyed for us. It's produced in China, and I really like our thread. I think it's a good quality thread. So you can see the whole rainbow of colors.
So this is Cheryl, and she works on she's a product manager for our boy, wedding, and Easy Quilt brands. She's going to tell you a little bit about the boy brand.
Hello, my name's Cheryl. I am the product manager for the Boy brand, which is a very large name in knit and crochet accessories and tools. It started in 1906 with the aluminum tools and needles and hooks, and went from there. We also do plenty of accessories and all kinds of materials. Our biggest seller are I taught myself 2 kits, which is for a beginner to do projects and learn the craft.
Cool. Thank you.
So this is Chelsea. She's one of our designers who works on our wedding, fashion, and easy quilting brands. Chelsea's going to talk to you about some of our dolls that we design here.
So these are our doll pendants. It's a jewelry line that we do for Joann's, and we start by looking at inspiration online and getting ideas for them, and then I design their little outfits. And from there they go to our crafter where they're actually sampled in-house, and then we send them off to China to have them mass produced.
They are awesome. They're so adorable.
How long have you been developing these, Chelsea?
I actually don't know how long
It's
they'll,
probably 6 or 7 years, I would say.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
but we usually try and do a Halloween line, so those are the Day of the Dead up there
Oh,
with
yeah.
the skulls.
Yeah.
We have some vintage dolls.
From the Simplicity Vintage line. That's it currently in the Joann. We have 12-foot section Simplicity Vintage and Joann, and those are part of
Okay.
that set. And then there's some holiday ones here also.
Yeah, they are adorable.
Very popular.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Thanks, Chelsea.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So we're here in the Perler Room, what we call the Perler Room. So Perler is one of the other brands that we develop here. Here with Anna. Anna's one of our designers who works on both Perler and Inca and Boy, actually. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Perler beads and the process that we go through with Perler from start to finish. Anna, you want to talk about how you design a Perler project?
Sure. Typically we're given a theme to work on, something that's popular, or we do a lot of seasonal work, and we develop a range of designs. Sometimes we even test them out to see if they work, so you see a bunch of random stuff around the office. We have many new colors, and we add about 9 to 10 a year.
Twice a year, so about
Twice
20
a year.
colors a year. Yeah,
Wow.
that's what we're trying to do. Yep.
So we have a very wide variety of colors that we can choose from.
And then you guys have a full digital palette that you work from when you're working digitally on the computer to do your new designs, right?
We have all of the pegboards on our computer. We use Illustrator.
Oh.
And we all have our own technique to create the designs. I like to use the eyedropper tool. And yeah, we just design them on our computer, print them out, bead them, iron them,
And then it goes on to the packaging.
and back.
And then you can see the kind of the packaging this would be like a finished Perler package. So this would have started as nothing. Our designers would have concepted that cute little unicorn and his friends, and then it winds up on a unicorn arch blister. So that's kind of how the Perler process goes.
Nice.
So Paint by Number is another one of the brands that we produce here. These are some examples of the paintworks kits that we have done recently. The paintwork process starts similar to the needlework process. The designers that work on needlework actually also work on Paint by Number. Starts the same, it ends differently, but we do Paint by Number in several different sizes, 16 by 20, 11 by 14, which is up there, and then we do 2 different sizes of Learn to Paint. We also do pencil by number here, and that's it for Paint by Number. Do you have any questions about that?
Those are Ivan's friends.
Yeah.
Aren't they cute?
They are. That's really pretty.
It's beautiful.
Paint by Number are very detailed, and we like to say that the consumer that buys our paintworks can achieve the same painting that's on the front of the package. Our instructions are that detailed that they should be able to achieve that. Our artists use the same brushes, the same paints that are included in our kits.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they're not using artist level or fancy brushes. They're using the same brushes that the consumer would be using. So
That's
we pride
awesome.
ourselves on the quality of our paintworks.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful.
That does not remind me of what I did as
I
Paint by
know.
Number when I was a child at all.
No.
It's
Beautiful.
gorgeous.
Wow.
Okay. So I'm here with Barry. He's the man behind the camera. He's going to tell us a little bit about our photography that we do here in-house.
So for all of the brands here, the CSS brands, we do photography for packaging and for e-com and for beauty shots, for websites, for social media. They are brought to me usually at the end of the process or somewhere during the process where we can produce images for packaging. At the end of the process, we shoot them and from all angles so that when you go to websites like the CSS websites to purchase our brands, or to Amazon or to Joann's, all of the images that you see are shot right here. We provide them with various directional shots. We do a number of beauty shots that we can put on our packaging, and we produce any other types of images that we need for our kits. We also do a certain amount of videos and social media images that you'll see online for all of our brands.
And you would have shot those stocking models for the packages and for the fronts? And
Certainly, yes.
We have enjoyed our afternoon touring here at CSS Industries and all of the products we've got to see, and their process is incredible. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
Yeah, I know we learned a lot on the way through, so
Yes.
I hope you did as well.
And we might be meeting with people again. We've invited everybody to come stitch in Willow Street, so we hope to see you there. And thank you very much.
Thank
As
you.
usual, share the joy of needlework.
See ya.
Bye-bye.